So this session is about sales tools for collaboration and high productivity in Zoho CRM. And let's get started. Right. So in today's presentation, we're going to take a look at these two features, feeds and documents within your Zoho CRM. So before we get into the feature list of what feeds can do or documents can do, let me ask you a question. How do we collaborate today in your organization? So you have a discussion with your team. So how do you do it? Meetings, emails, conference calls, chat, right? So there are a lot of ways in collaborating with a team, sharing ideas, right? But with these traditional methods, like for a team meeting, right, or a conference call, it's not that easy, right? There are problems with those methods. It's time consuming. Imagine how hard it is to bring everyone in a single room and start a discussion, right? And there's also a problem with the lack of visibility. Maybe someone didn't make it to the meeting, so they won't know what actually was discussed, what happened on that meeting. Someone else who was on the meeting has to fill them up with all the details. And doing so, there is a possibility of miscommunication, right? Or let's say you don't do a meeting, you just send an email copying everyone who's supposed to be involved. How many times has it happened? You forgot to hit the reply all and just hit reply, right? And then you go back and forth, and sometimes you miss attachments. I've done this all the time. So I just send an email saying, here's an attachment, forget to attach the document, right? So there is a lot of problem with these traditional methods like a team meeting or email or even a conference call, right? So how do you overcome these shortcomings? So you need a real-time collaboration tool. And what if this collaboration tool can be inside your Zoho CRM where you spend most of your time? If you're a salesperson, that's what you're doing. You're logging into your Zoho CRM account. That's where you're making all the updates, you're doing your reporting. And if a collaborative tool, a place where you can discuss, share ideas, and get updates about all the records that matter to you, all within CRM. So that's the feeds. Feeds lets you work as a team, share ideas, any ideas that you have to improve the process, any feedback that you have about the process or a person, about a particular deal, anything. And you also get to follow records that matter to you. What if you want to get all the updates about the hottest deals that are happening? No one has to tell you. The system will let you know these are the changes, these are the updates made on the records that matter to you. So that's feeds. We're going to show you a preview of how feeds look like. We're going to go into a demo. But before that, I want to ask you a question, right? Who likes work to be fun? How many of you want work to be fun, right? It has to be. To me, work has to be fun. Otherwise, I don't think the work actually gets done in the proper way. So work has to be fun. And let me ask you another question. How many of you use Facebook and Twitter? It's fun to use Facebook, right? You post comments, you share ideas. In Twitter, you follow people who you like, you want to follow, and sometimes you just tweet about something you like, something you didn't like. You tag someone to get their attention or send some message to them. This is all fun, right? What if these fun features could be just in your Zoho CRM, and you can use that to increase your sales, the productivity of your company. So basically, we just took all these features like sharing ideas in a Facebook, commenting on a picture posted, or tweeting to someone in particular, following your favorite celebrities or people you like. All these features, we just took the concept and put it into Zoho CRM. So that's basically your feeds. If you already have your Zoho CRM account, you would have noticed the feeds tab. That's the first module you'll see, and this is how it looks like. So there you can see on the top, you can post status, start a discussion about your sales process or any ideas you have, and the feed shows you the records that you follow. Any changes, any updates made to the records that you follow will be listed in the feeds, and you can also comment on them. That's going to add a note, and anybody who is the owner of that particular record will get that notification, and they'll know what's happening. So we're going to take every single aspect of the feed and see how it works. So that's how you post on a wall. So you have the feeds, and you can post status. So in the status, you can post and start a discussion. In your feeds wall, you start a discussion by posting any idea, and you can do that to all your users, right? If there's a discussion involving everyone in your organization, you can just say all users, like it says there, and you can start a discussion. Let's say you start a discussion about your sales process. You don't want your support team or the accounts team to get into that discussion. You can also pick groups and post to specific group members. You can also do a private message. Let's say if you want to just send a message to one particular user in your Zoho CRM account, you can do a private message as well. Right. So feeds will automatically show the updates that are made on the records that you own. So if you own leads, contacts, or any records for that matter, potentials, accounts, and if someone makes a change, update, any update, or if they add a note to it, you'll get the notification. What if I want to know about a record that is not owned by me? There's a hot deal, and it's owned by another person in my company, but I still want to know what is happening on that particular deal, right? So any updates or changes made, I want to know. In that case, you can go into any particular record, and you see the follow button there, just click on it, and you'll get all the updates made on this record. Any changes that made, that's going to show up in your feeds. You can also create auto follow rules. You don't have to manually go into records, find records, and follow them. What if you want to follow all the records that come under a common criteria? Like for instance, we have so many people here, and most of them are in the contacts in my database. So I'm in this event, and I want to follow all the updates that happen to the people who attended Zoholics. So I can just create a rule and say anyone who attended Zoholics, if the lead source or if I have that in any particular field, I can just say people who attended the Zoholics event, I want to follow. Or in your case, you can just say lead source is a trade show. If you want to follow all the records in a particular trade show, you can just say lead source is trade show, or you can add multiple criteria. So you would have seen this criteria part in creating views or creating custom reports. So that's the same criteria part you see in the other places. So you can have multiple criteria, and you can tell the system to follow all these records automatically. You can add notes. Say if you get a feed notification about a particular change, and you want to add a note to that particular record. You don't have to search for the record and go there and add the notes. From your feeds, you can just see what happened, any notes that has been added by the other person, and if you want to comment on that or add a note, you can just add it here, and that person will get a notification, and when they see the record, they will see the comments that you have added, like this, right? So I have the notification, and I've just added the note. When you get to the record, that note will be there, so the other person knows what you're talking about. Get instant updates. So as you make these changes, as changes are being made on the records that I follow, I will get updates, right? So do I have to always go into the feeds tab, click on the feeds and see what are the updates? No. All the important updates will be notified on that little icon there, the bell icon there. So you will get updates, just like you get the update on your Facebook. So you can click on it and see what the update is. You can go into that particular record. You can start working on it. So we'll just take a look at a quick demo of how the feeds work. Here's your typical Zoho CRM page. There's the feeds. So you can scroll through feeds and it shows all the updates that matter to me. These are the records that either are owned by me or the records that I'm following right now. You can also filter. If you just want to see the records that are followed by you, you can just see followed by me. So these records, these potentials are not my records. They're not owned by me. They're owned by another person, but I'm following these records. And there is an update. I just click on it and I can see this potential has been closed. So that makes me happy, right? So all the changes made on the records followed by you will be displayed like this. And it goes. If you want to go into the record, you can just click on it and it will take you to the actual record itself. So as you can see, here's the wall. You can, post and start a discussion. And if you want to attach any document relevant to the discussion you're starting, you can do so and people can open that attachment and they can start commenting. Like I said, you can either post it to all users or create groups and put specific users into those groups and start a discussion on that. So these are all the features that we saw. So you can post on the status, you get updates about all the records that matter to you. You have the option to create follow rules so that the system will automatically follow records based on any criteria you specify. And additionally, there's also one more feature. Let's say I'm following a bunch of potentials, all the big deals that are yet to be closed, right? I can, as a manager, I can go in and say, I need to follow all these records and get updates about all these records. So as we saw, if the update is made, you get it in the feeds. What if nothing is happening? You want the deals closed by the end of this month, but nobody is making any updates. The salesperson is basically not following up or making no updates on the CRM. But I want that salesperson to go after those deals and close those deals. So if no update is happening, how do I know which records are not being updated? So you can go into untouched records and this will show all the records which have not been modified. And if you're following those records and if no update is being made, it'll show you. So you can go to, you can contact a sales person and just say, no update is being made, just go after it and close the deal. So I have no records, so probably my sales team is doing a good job. So that's about the feeds. So finally, we are going to take a look at documents as well. So that was the feeds feature where you share ideas and get updates about the records that matter to you. Documents, if you've noticed, you will also have the Documents tab. separate within Zoho CRM, where you can upload any documents that you want to share with your organization or a specific group of members. You can upload, any type of file, PDF files, Word documents, spreadsheets, images, and if you're uploading Word documents or spreadsheets, you can open them in Zoho Sheet or Zoho Writer, and you can make changes. For instance, if you are working on a Word document like this one, someone can just, you don't have to download that, make change, upload it again. You can open that Word document online in Zoho Writer, and as you make changes, anyone who has access to that document can also log in and see the changes made in real time. You also have the chat feature to discuss anything, or if the other person feels that there's something wrong or changes need to be made, they can make changes as I'm working on these documents. So people can edit the document in real time. Sometimes you might not want to do that, right? So you might be making some important changes. You might not want everyone to come in and make changes on random. So in that case, you can specify the access, right? You can keep the read-write access to yourself and make others read only. So others will just look at the document and you will be making changes to those documents. The advantage of documents is it's easy to share. So you have a common place. You don't have to worry about uploading that in Google Drive or any third-party application just for file sharing. You have your CRM system. You have all your records. That's what you spend most of your time. And all the documents that are relevant can be uploaded within Zoho CRM. It's a real-time editing tool. So if you're updating sheets, spreadsheets, or Word documents, you can edit them real-time with your team. And you have role-based sharing. So you don't have to provide access to edit the documents to all the users. You can only specify the roles so that only few people will be able to edit and the others would just want to see. You can also hide the documents completely from certain users you want. Revisions. So as you make real-time changes to the document, sometimes, let's say, you upload a document, it gets changed, modified 4 or 5 times, and then you have a final result. Maybe you want to just go back to the first version and see what's happened, right? So documents will allow you to go back in time and find all the revisions. The history will have all the information saved. So you will have the first revision, second, fourth. Anytime you make an update, that will be saved as a revision, and you can go back to any one of those revisions that you want. So those are the tools for your sales team. It's going to be very helpful. I want everyone to go give it a try, the feeds and documents.